Hello.
Hello, Julieta. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you today?
Cool. Very nice to meet you. I was really willing to meet you, to know more about your bank and I have a friend that works in Connecticut.
Okay.
So I know what the bank is. So
Yeah.
yeah.
To just give you a brief background about ourselves, we are a microcredit company.
Mm-hmm.
So we give out loans in the agricultural sector to farmers like yourself all over the developing world.
Mm-hmm.
And we expect a certain amount of return from that loan, but most of it is for you to be able to grow your business. So we want to do help sustainable farming and at the same time give some returns to our investors as well. Yeah. So I mean,
Great.
yeah. So and then you contacted me, and we're looking at Mozambique right now for some potential partnerships.
Yeah.
And in the region, you are one of the, I think, people who has a good size of poultry business, and we were hoping to, come up, decide on some sort of terms for a potential loan for you to grow your business.
Yeah,
So
that's correct. As you may know, the market is growing super fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have seen an opportunity. We've been working on this for a lot of time. So we know the market and we
Yeah.
know how to do it. So the thing is that we want to go professional, go more pro,
Right.
and we want to start. Working with American poultry, which is a very interesting breed because it is much more effective than the Mozambique or the Brazilian chicken. I can show you this. So this is the Mozambican chicken, which besides to being smaller, is much less effective in terms of cost. So for very similar costs, food and maintenance, veterinarians, etc. You can grow American chicken, which allow you to get some more.
Okay. In terms of if growing American chickens in Mozambique, what about the weather conditions, the feed? It might be different, right? And the kind of.
So the thing is that at the end you don't grow the chickens in an open area. So you need some infrastructure, which allows you to kind of have a similar environment as you have in these countries.
Yeah.
I mean, it is highly how do you say, adaptable. It's an adaptable breed. So there's no issues really in terms of latitude or climate.
Okay.
So we won't see any problem on this.
Okay.
We want to do that means that we need to invest in infrastructure and high tech stuff to make the project viable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we can address quickly this growing demand of internal manufacturing, internal producer.
Yeah.
So we were thinking as there is a lot of capex at the beginning, we were thinking in a figure that could allow us to build this.
Yeah.
We are thinking also in partnering with some local farmers that they have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
They are that we trust, and we want to do it with high density, so we can really make the most profit from this. So we don't want to, instead of investing in a big land, we prefer to buy something smaller, but reaching a higher density within the poultry. And that money, that we'll be able to save, we will invest in veterinarians to avoid diseases.
Yeah.
So the amount that we had in mind, this is, it's not that big money. In fact, this is a sum that we could even get from our families. and we already have that alternative. So
Yeah.
we can borrow from friends and family, but we want to start a relationship with you, for the
Yeah.
future. If this works, we will need more, and I
Yeah.
think it would be really nice. So we were thinking in something in $10,000, because we can make much more from from a little more money. We can make a lot more in terms of production and
Right.
profitability.
Right.
Okay. In terms of tenor for this loan, of payback time,
Yeah.
we, as I think you guys will try to minimize the risk, and of course you will try to get good returns. We think that
Yes.
4 years could work really good, so we can pay back the loan without any problem. And of course, I guess that the rate for 4 years would be a bit higher than for 1 year. So 4 years, it's also interesting. So those are one of two topics. So we have this partner, Ronaldo, which is a star. You have Ronaldo the soccer star, and you have the Ronaldo the farmer. So it will be very interesting for both of us to make this business work. And as I told you, we are looking for high density, and that's the project.
Okay. So thank you for sharing all your interests and then the way you are envisioning this project. It's good to know that you have given it some thought. Now, to come from the point of an investor, let me tell you a bit about what we have seen. First of all, the density bit that you mentioned. So we have financed other similar projects across Africa, and in fact, one of our investments in Uganda, and the guy also was looking at something where it was a very high density kind of project that completely backfired, and we lost everything because there was a disease outbreak.
Yeah.
So when you have very high density, they're more in contact with each other, and the disease spreads much quickly, and we lost that entire investment. So ever since then, we have come up with actually a guideline so it's a mathematical formula of at least what density you need.
Okay.
Right? And then you mentioned that you're looking at American chickens, they're not Brazilian chickens. Not Brazilian, so not Mozambique chickens. If you look at the size of those chickens, they're almost 5 times the size.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have chicken 5 times the time, you need a bigger area for them to walk around in. Because if I have one room this big and I have 20, it's big. It's okay for maybe 20 Mozambique chickens. You put in chickens 5 times the size, you can't still put them in the same room. There'll be no place for them to even move, and that becomes the problem then. And I've seen farming all over Africa, and the sanitary conditions are not the same as the US or someplace else. It's the countries are not developed enough. You don't have the same sort of infrastructure in place right now.
Okay.
In terms of the size of the loan and the loan payback time, we are a microcredit company, so we give out small loans. That's our purpose. So we look at giving on usual around $2,000 to $3,000 of one single loans. That said, if we see a good payback on an initial loan, we give good, slightly bigger follow-up loans. And in terms of payback time, we actually like to get paid back early, because in the past we've seen that the longer the term is, like you said, the interest rate might be higher, but we are not really here to make interest rate. We want for you to succeed, but for us to get at least a principal back. And we have seen a lot of loans get defaulted after the second or third year, once the farmers, they look at a long-term horizon and they spend the money in, the aesthetics of their farm and everything else, but actually in the main thing. And we see a lot of investment. So we actually prefer shorter payback times, like as short as possible.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I am coming from. And you mentioned business partner also. So we are actually, in addition to your project, we're also looking at 1 or 2 other projects in the region that we might be financing. And one of them is this farmer called Felicia. and I think she already has an excellent history of loan repayment with us and has a pretty good size operation, and she is actually one of our top choices as well. So if you could tie up with her, maybe it might entice us to sponsor your project as well. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Okay. So yeah, in terms of the loan size,
Yeah.
the thing is, some of the one of the key elements of this kind of business is the economies of scale.
Yeah.
As per our research,
Yeah.
we know that we get 5,000 K, and then and compare it with a 7.5 K loan,
Yeah.
we will be able to make 3 times more growth. So with just 25, well, no,
Yeah.
less than 25% more,
Yeah.
we will be able to triple the growth. So the impact of the economies of scale is really high. So that's also important because that will boost our revenues, and we'll be able to repay earlier.
Okay. So if you say you'll be able to repay earlier, when would you be able to repay us by?
So if we are able to get a big loan, that will allow us to start selling earlier. So we can go down from 4 years to 3 years, and we can probably improve that, because at the end, we need 1 year to set everything,
Yeah.
to set the factory and
Yeah.
all the hygiene and etc. So at least it will take 2 years. So if you were open to give us 10,000 K, we could reduce down to 2 years.
So my initial plan was to give you $2,500 and for 1 year to just basically test out whether you guys can, turn up to be good partners or not. Now I'm thinking if I increase that $2,500 to maybe 5,000, I can maybe, if I increase, sorry, what was I saying? If I increase the payback, if I increase the loan size from 2,500 to 5,000, and also increase the loan payback time from 1 year to 2 years, we can bargain on something else.
The thing
So-
is, yeah.
I mean, if I increase this loan size and I also increase your payback time.
Yeah, our problem here is this scale effect. So, up to $5,000, we will need 4 years to repay. But then, if we can go up to 7.5, we could. This is radical. We could go down to 2 years payback. Why? Because of the effect. Because if we need to ask for 2 loans of 5,000, so one this year and another one 2 years then, it wouldn't be the same as getting the money now, because we can build everything at the same time. So we can buy the chicken and build this infrastructure at the same time.
Okay.
That's the problem. So we are super flexible in the payback.
Yeah.
But we have this. But I think
The
if
loan
you look
value
to the
is more
numbers,
important for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, if I'm giving you more money,
Yeah.
we expect you to put in infrastructure and have a better kind of environment for you to grow these American chickens, which are bigger in size.
Okay.
So what is then very important for us is the poultry density. We don't want you to stuff them together.
Okay. So yeah. So just to
That is extremely important. So I can maybe, think about 5,000 or even $7,500.
Okay.
If you can give me a short payback time and high poultry density. I mean high as in like low density, more space per chickens.
That could work. Just to give you some data, so this 0.5 that we are targeting is not that is like the highest, is the average farming
In the US,
rate in the
international.
US. Yeah, so it's an average there.
Which is correct, which is like I said, but because you
Yeah.
guys don't have the sanitary monitoring and the vet conditions in Africa, that does not work here.
Mhm.
And we have already seen an investment go south in Uganda. So we have a strict guideline to not allow anything less than 1.5 anymore in Africa. So we cannot allow anything less than 1.5. And that's why I'm even considering a bigger loan is because I want you to invest that in land to get a bigger area for the chickens. And especially because now you're telling me you're going to be growing bigger chickens, it becomes even more of a problem.
Okay, so in the case the thing is, if in the case we accept this density, we would need more and more land.
Yeah, which is
so-
why I'm thinking of maybe maximum going up to 7,500. If you promise me a short payback time and very high ratio,
So okay, so
land to chicken ratio.
I could offer, so having this 1.5 ratio, we could offer I could offer you two alternatives. So if you give us 10,000, okay,
Yeah.
we could offer you a 1 year payback time
Yeah.
because we already have chickens, so
Yeah.
we would even start this year selling.
Uh-huh.
And if you're able to give us $7,500, we could go down to 2 years.
Okay. Like I said, 10,000 is just too much for us, so I will prefer to go for 7,500 in 2 years.
Okay.
And the ratio of two.
Okay. Regarding the business partner. So the thing is,
So,
Felicia.
just to confirm one thing, the poultry density we decided on 2.
I accepted the 1.5.
1.5, that was the minimum.
No, but I understood you that you
Okay, fine.
couldn't that you could only make.
I said the minimum we go for is 1.5, but I was hoping you can go for 2 even. That is our minimum acceptable, is 1.5.
No, so that's our maximum. So I mean,
Okay.
we are trying to go to 0.5 ratio,
Okay.
and
Yeah, 0.5 is not.
yeah. So
not-
1.5 is
That is where I'm expecting you to spend the money. Okay, alright, let's look at business partner support and inspection.
So we already talked to Felicia. The thing is, Felicia, she's a bit more advanced than us. So
Yeah.
she wants a higher stake on the loan because she's now very intensive. So and we want to use the loan for ourselves. So we want a partner that will work with us and provide operating expertise, but doesn't ask for a stake in the loan. So that's why we are trying to partner up with Ronaldo, because I mean we know him personally and we trust him, and we trust him in terms of operation and in terms of managing the money.
Okay. So for us, I'll tell you between business partners about what is our purpose behind business partner. The reason, if you might be familiar with microcredits, and usually microcredits, they don't want to give it to one person, they like to have a community effect.
Yeah.
And the community effect is to keep a check and balance.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually don't prefer people to be friends in that.
Okay.
What we want is Felicia to keep you on track and you to keep Felicia on track. So that the loan can be paid back on time. Right? Our purpose is to get the loan back from you guys. And that is why we do not want to give it to you and a friend. Because then you guys will not make the effort to correct each other when you're going wrong. Versus where Felicia, I think, with Felicia and you will be able to monitor each other. You will have that incentive to monitor each other. Versus with friend, it's like, yeah, okay, I believe you, I trust you, and then people forget. So that is our main reason for going with Felicia. And she also has a very good history of loan prepayment, and she has a good size operation already. So we also believe you will be able to learn from her a lot in terms of your business. You'll be able to learn from her versus like Ronaldo, who we don't have any history.
Yeah.
Right. So that is one of our issues, and the inspection frequency. So we have done studies about inspection frequency in the past, and we realized that after every inspection, the productivity of the farm goes up for at least a month. Which is why we want to now inspect farms on a monthly basis. Because we feel the productivity will stay high. But if you're okay with Felicia, then maybe we can reduce the inspections a bit, because we know she is already a very good farmer and she has a very good track record of production in the past.
Okay, so I mean, our problem with Felicia remains the same. That I mean, we don't want to share the loan because we want it for ourselves. So what we can do, I mean, we have another alternative, which could be Alvaro, which he's I work with him, so he's not a friend, but he was a coworker, he was a colleague, and so I know he's a good worker. He knows about the egg business, and he knows the market, so he could help in selling with higher prices.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a good midpoint, because at the end, because so Felicia, she's already a friend of a client of yours, and she's delivering. But in our case, if you want us to be profitable, we need to use the loan for ourselves.
Okay. And what about the inspection frequency? How do you look at that?
As per our previous experience, of course we understand that you need to do these inspections. The thing is, for us, are very time consuming, because we have a very small team, and I mean myself, I work every day at the farm, and so at the end, the time I spend in preparing the inspection, so everything looks nice. It takes a day, but
that's the thing. You don't have to plan for everything to look nice. It should just look nice.
Yeah,
that is the point.
Of course, but it takes time, to. But
of course, the idea is for us to just make sure you're doing the right things. We don't want you to dress it up to look nice when we come there for an inspection, right?
No, but of course. But the thing is, I have to do arrangements, because, for example, I always try to don't have suppliers coming that day, because it will interrupt. Or, for example, the waste management company that comes to clean all the waste from the chicken. I need to be sure that they are not coming that day. So there are arrangements to do that. And also when you come, I spend the whole day. So as per so at the end, as per our estimation, this is a real cost, and which is more or less is equivalent of a full day worth of sales.
Right.
So of course, when you guys come, helps to to
push the productivity,
to boost because of your inputs, etc. But at the same time, we lose money. So it would be nice to reach a midpoint.
Right.
So we don't receive, we don't have a lot of interruptions.
I agree. So the way we look at it is, even if it's we come for 1 day in 1 month, you said you lose 1 day then, right? So you lose 1 day, but if you're able to push your production up by even 5 to 10%, then you can look at it like you're gaining 1.5 days to 3 days. Yes, you lose 1 day, but overall it's a net positive effect that we add to your farm. So that's why we think the more we can inspect, it'll be really good for you also to pay back the loan. So I mean, in terms of, again, Alvaro, you mentioned as a partner, we don't mind him. The problem is we don't have any experience working with him. So we do not have a track record with him, right? Which is why, again, inspections make it important for us to keep control. Versus, like I said, with Felicia, lesser inspections could also work. But with Alvaro, again, we need more inspections. So
but at the end, I mean, I'm the one who's taking the credit, and so I'm responsible for paying back. So So it might.
But then now you will share the loan with Alvaro. He will also be responsible for paying you back.
Of course,
Yeah.
but
Because it's a small share in the loan that he will take, and then at the end of the day, we have to keep an eye on both of you, right?
yeah, I mean that's true. But yeah, I mean Felipe has a good track record in as a manager, but Alvaro is definitely an amazing seller. So and that's what we are looking for here.
Okay, so how many inspections can we agree to?
So I think for in terms of profitability, I mean you guys. I mean I would prefer not to have inspections, of course, and
Yeah.
and I would like to reduce, especially if you are paying back in
Yeah.
2 years. We really think that you probably don't need to come that often.
And that is the more the reason that we need to come very often in the first year to make sure we get our money back. Because after the first year we can even reduce, but the first year we need to make sure the money, because you don't have any track record with us. Alvaro has no track record with us. How do we, work with that?
So
If you were willing to work with Felicia, for example, we can bring down our inspection to once a quarter, so only 4 in 1 year. But if you work with Alvaro, we need to do more inspections. Let me put it down.
So
I'll let you make the decision here.
I mean the thing is, we can do this business by ourselves with family money. So we want to run it properly. So that's why we
That is fine.
So for us, I mean, 1 inspection would be okay. We could go up to 2 inspections, but then something above that would be hard to accept.
What do you think? Okay, I'll give you my last offer, maybe my best offer so far. And then you can decide.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 options.
Okay.
The first option is to go with Alvaro, and we give you 4 inspections in a year.
4.
Once a quarter, yeah. And Alvaro.
Okay.
The second option is to go with Felicia, and you can have only 2 inspections.
Okay, so
The third option, if you want, is for us to look at some of the other things that we earlier agreed on. And more specifically, we can look at reducing the loan size, in which I'm okay with only 2 inspections. If you can reduce the loan size to 5,000, then I'm okay with 2 inspections and also Alvaro.
no, I think we could only accept this having Alvaro and for inspections.
Deal.
Deal? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to working with you.
Of course, you will regret.
I hope so.